Right now at this point, you guys, you don't even need me. You don't need Clay Travis. You don't need Black and White Sports, Sports Wars, other channels similar to ours on YouTube. You don't need us right now. You don't need us to call out the wokers because they are devouring themselves. All we have to do right now, sit back and enjoy this show. We saw this coming. This was an easy prediction to make. I've said it countless times here on the channel before. When your entire premise is based on a lie, when your agenda is based on myth, calling out other people for their wrongs, eventually the barrel of that gun turns around and is pointed in your direction. Just look at all the wokers who are destroying each other right now. Yesterday, Rachel Nichols and that audio leaked about the Maria Taylor situation. You have ESPN and Maria Taylor going back and forth publicly in their contract negotiations. ESPN is quietly phasing out Katie Nolan, another overpaid talent. And now, just a couple of hours ago, you have ultra woke Steven Jackson attacking ESPN over the Rachel Nichols Maria Taylor situation. And I have to admit, I was actually shocked by this. I was surprised. After his retirement from the NBA, Steven Jackson entered the field of race baiting. He's become a professional race baiter. That's what he is. Now, he's not on the level of Jemele Hill, but then again, who the hell is on Jemele Hill's level? Have you seen her latest claim? Oh yeah. She is now claiming that Olympic rules disproportionately impact athletes of color, specifically black athletes. She claims the Olympic rules regarding drug use, in this case marijuana, impact black people differently than everyone else. Because black people are the only people that smoke weed. No one else does that. Another ridiculous claim by Jemele Hill, who at this point has lost all credibility. If you follow Jemele Hill, you need to seriously reevaluate your life because you obviously don't make good decisions. Anyway, back to Steven Jackson blasting ESPN. It's not often that I agree with someone like Steven Jackson, but in this instance, I do. This is a weird day. I found myself agreeing or defending LeBron James and agreeing with Steven Jackson on the same day. Steven Jackson took to Instagram and blasted ESPN for putting both Rachel Nichols and Maria Taylor in a bad spot, bad situation. He claimed ESPN only approached Maria Taylor to take over hosting duties for the NBA Finals out of sympathy. Basically, he is accusing ESPN of giving Maria Taylor the gig based off of her race. He said they only did it to make themselves look good. With the aftermath of the George Floyd murder last summer and all the other racial stuff that went on last year, Steven Jackson is saying that ESPN gave Maria Taylor the job, basically to appease the African American community. I mean, it's hard to argue against that point. I'm not taking anything away from Maria Taylor, but she's not qualified to host coverage of the NBA Finals. She's just not. I know she likes to claim she's an expert on the NBA because she played basketball, but that's like saying I'm an expert on computers because I have one. There are millions of people that played basketball growing up and know nothing about the NBA. I didn't play basketball in high school or college. I did play growing up, but I didn't play in high school or college. But I know more about the NBA than Maria Taylor does. I know enough to include Anthony Davis on the All-NBA team. Does that mean I'm qualified to host the NBA Finals? No. ESPN is falling apart at the seams right now. Ratings are down. Budget cuts are going on. Infighting amongst on-air talent. Every day there is a new story about ESPN, and it's always negative. They let go of talent that actually brings something to the table. Guys like Mike Golick, who is a loyal employee for 20 years. And ESPN discarded him like trash. It was absolutely disrespectful the way they treated Mike Golick on his way out. Then they overpay people who aren't worth the money. They overpaid Michelle Beadle. They overpaid Katie Nolan. They are paying Katie Nolan $1 million a year. For what? For what? Her ratings were so bad on ESPN Plus, they moved her show to ESPN2 to try and increase awareness to it, hoping that if they put her on a bigger platform, more people would watch. Now, I don't know what made them think in the first place that Katie Nolan was a big enough draw that people would follow her to ESPN Plus, but I digress. Her premiere show on ESPN2 drew a .03 rating. What is that? Maybe 100,000 people? 50,000 people? I don't know. It ain't very many. ESPN is paying a heavy price right now for making the decision to go woke. You cannot placate these people. They're always going to want more. It's never going to be good enough. ESPN has created a scenario where they have a bunch of entitled on-air personalities that think they're more important than they really are. They think they're worth more money than they're really worth. They offer Maria Taylor a $4 million a year raise. That wasn't good enough. She thinks she's worth $8 million a year. While you had a guy like Mike Golick, a loyal employee, someone who had built a strong following over 20 years, willing to take less money, and ESPN lets him walk. He doesn't fit the demographic we're trying to reach. Back to Steven Jackson. He is getting roasted on woke Twitter for coming to the defense of Rachel Nichols. I don't know why. Well, I know why. I mean, woke Twitter, these people look at everything through the lens of race. But Steven Jackson was not wrong in his assessment of this situation. Just like I did earlier this morning, he flipped the script on the Rachel Nichols, Maria Taylor situation, asking black people how they felt when they have been passed over for jobs that they're qualified for only because of their skin tone. The employer hires a white person who's less qualified instead. That's what Rachel Nichols was aggravated about. She knew Maria Taylor wasn't qualified to host the NBA Finals, and she assumed at the time she was only given the opportunity because of the political climate in the country. Steven Jackson bringing this to light was an injustice. How dare you defend a white woman over a black woman? One person on woke Twitter wrote, "Steven Uneducated Jackson really posted this, really tried to compare the black and white experience." This is the kind of thinking that we have to get away from. It's not the black and white experience. It's a people experience. I don't understand. I mean, just like Steven Jackson said, how can you complain about being discriminated against based on your race, then be okay with it when it works to your advantage? You can't have it both ways. Again, this is the problem with the woke agenda. They want the agenda as long as it benefits them. As soon as it doesn't, all that wokeness goes right out the window. That's why I was so critical of Rachel Nichols in the video I uploaded this morning. You just knew, though, I couldn't agree with everything Steven Jackson had to say. He started talking about Adam Mendelsohn, I think that's how you pronounce his name, Adam Mendelsohn, the other person in the leaked audio with Rachel Nichols. Adam Mendelsohn is linked to LeBron James, and in the leaked audio, he said that he had nothing left for the Me Too movement and Black Lives Matter. Now, Steven Jackson tried to spin this into a racial thing. You know, he couldn't stay on the common sense track for very long. He said Adam Mendelsohn is clearly tired of Black Lives Mattering, not the organization, which is obviously ridiculous. Go listen to the audio. You can clearly tell he's talking about the organization. Stop trying to spin it into something it's not. Overall, though, I agree with most of what Steven Jackson said in regards to ESPN. I thought it was good. I thought it was a positive sign to see someone in the woke community at least have a bit of common sense, even if it's only for one day. All right, what do you guys think of Steven Jackson's comments on the Rachel Nichols situation? Was he right in his assessment of ESPN? Sound off in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click the notification bell to receive all notifications from the channel. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, KC_BTL84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys tomorrow.